Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the United Stand. Welcome to your morning update on all the drama that is Manchester United right now. We do have Ronaldo updates. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's happening next, how Erik ten Hag is going to be handling this, and what he's done in the past to handle certain issues like this. Not on this scale, but how he's worked in the past. We've got Marcel van der Kran's comments, Dutch expert, on how he thinks Erik ten Hag is going to handle this. We're going to get into that. I want to get your opinions, obviously. I have a very strong opinion on this. I've not been on and said my piece properly on YouTube. I've done it on Twitter Space, on United Stand, and everything like that. So I'll get your guys, I'll get your input on everything like this going on and how you see my side of it. You don't have to agree with me. Everyone is open to their opinion on it. Well, I'll get you involved in this today. We are going to be talking Osimhen, though, first. We just want to take it away from Ronaldo right now, the whole Ronaldo things. We have got, obviously, the rest, or not the rest, but the first part of that interview coming out tonight. We're going to touch on it, like I said, later on. But I want to start with Osimhen and obviously looking past Ronaldo now and what we are going to do. Manchester United, this story has been leaked, and obviously we're going to get story after story after story now in terms of how United move on, who is going to replace Cristiano Ronaldo, because he is going from Manchester United. It's as simple as that. Save all your Ronaldo comments for later. I'm going to open it up to the comments section, and you guys can go in on me. You can change your mind on what I say. You can just go in and say you don't agree with me completely. It's up to you, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. I just want to talk about Osimhen. And guys, I want to get your input on the striker and who you think United could possibly bring in, because the issue that we've got right now is the fact that Ronaldo's going in January. Who is going to be available in January? Well, reports in the Mirror this morning are saying Osimhen is available for 60 million. 60 million in January for a player in this much form and as good as he is seems a bit of a snip to me. It seems a bit too good to be true. I think it's reported that Napoli are expecting multiple offers coming in January. This guy, I'm just going to go into what this player is and how good he is and if he's the right fit for Manchester United first. 60 million for this type of player. And the guy has got 13 goal involvements already this season. He has 10 goals and 3 assists, mixed between Serie A and the Champions League. And you look at it and you go, he's had a 4-week layoff in the middle of all of that. So he's only had 14 games this season. So he missed 4 games through injury. He came back from that injury and scored 7 in 6. With 2 assists on top of that. So coming back from an injury, hitting that form like that, and we've seen how good Napoli are this season. And to be honest, the 4 games that Napoli missed, they won anyway without him. So it just goes to show he's come straight back in and has kicked on where he left off, because he's in immense form. He's quick, he's powerful, 6'1". He is exactly what Manchester United need. That player who can hold the ball up, that player who's got that dynamic pace, and when he gets the chance, he takes it. Like I said then, though, he's got the assist as well. So he's not that player that's just completely all about me like some other people are. But you know what? He's got that team ethic. And I think in terms of how Ten Hag works and how Ten Hag wants the system to work and how he plays, you look at it and go, Osimhen is that man. Osimhen is that type of player. I look at it and I go, it's got to be too good to be true, though, surely. I mean, he's not in the World Cup, so he'll be fully rested. Can United get this man in January? I want to know what your thoughts are on this, everyone, because looking at the stats there, looking at what he is, looking how he plays, he's 23, 6'1", like I said, powerful, strong, fit, come back from the injury, started where he left off. He just looks like the whole package. It is going to take a monumental bid to get him out of there. Would you spend the extra money? That's what I want to know. Would you spend the extra money to get him? So say 60 million, we're all laughing at it. It sounds too good to be true. I agree. I don't think it will be 60 million if you want this caliber of player performing at this level. Some people will say 60 million is worth that because it's Serie A, and that isn't a realistic, not so much realistic, but it's the wrong word to actually say that. It's like it's not comparable to the Premier League and the standard of the Premier League. We've got this whole myth like the Premier League is the hardest league in the world. It is. We've seen it. Everyone wants to play in it and test their mettle in it. Can we get a player from Italy cross over to the Premier League and do what we need, hit the ground running, and be as good as he is in Serie A. I mean, Napoli's football is it's a breath of fresh air. To watch that team and how they've dissected teams in Serie A and in the Champions League this season it's been a shock. It's been a surprise to a lot of people, but look at how they're playing the team and how quick they are, how quickly move the ball, the system style. It's brilliant to watch, and I think that would be perfect with Ten Hag. But would you spend that extra? Would you go and say, look, this player here at 23 could be the striker that stays for the decade and could be the next best striker that we've had at this football? It could be the next Andy Cole, the next Van Nistelrooy, that type of player, or Wayne Rooney. At that age, is it worth spending that bit more if you don't get him? 60 million, like I said, seems, some people have said it's a lot of money for a Serie A striker, like for the reasons I just said. Is that disrespecting Serie A in saying that? Will he be able to hit it off in the Premier League? The unknown. But looking at what he is and how he plays and his record, it stands out. It stands up there with the best strikers in Europe this season, and some, to be honest. For the time he's had out as well and still got them numbers, it's frightening. It is absolutely frightening. Would you spend that extra bit of money? Guys, get your comments in on that. I was going to bring up a super chat here from Acid23. There's, morning, Adam. Who'd you prefer to see as a striker? I'm sure I was just asking that question, but yeah, I'll answer it anyway. I'd like to see Felix. He's fast, technical, great in the air, and can play anywhere up front. Felix is an option. I would say that. Felix is also a problem in terms of could we get him out of Atletico Madrid? I know he's upset and unrest there with Diego Simeone at the moment. Is it the right time to go in for him? Is January, with how their season has gone, time to go in for him? This is what I wanted to ask you guys in terms of Osimhen there. I've just bigged him up in terms of what he is and the type of striker that he is. And United would definitely improve with him in the side. No end, definitely. But is there another striker out there that you guys would go for? Get your chats in. Let me know. 60 million, I'll take that any day. We won't get him. This is Spain, says GI. Could possibly be. United are going to get linked with every single striker under the sun now. We know that. We know what's coming, especially with the news of what is happening with Ronaldo. 0 chance of Osimhen. You're all full of confidence, aren't you? 80 million with add-ons. It's more realistic. He's 100 million, Adam. News from Italy now. I would say that type of player, that caliber at that age, with them numbers, I would say that's closer to the figure. I think he is going to be in on that 100 million mark. I would say probably looking like an 85, add-ons, a player thrown in, something like that. I prefer Ivan Toney. Is that, I know what you mean by Ivan Toney. 75 plus add-ons. Ronaldo is king. United is crap. As Nom says there, nonsense. But moving on, the Glazers won't pay 60 million. I think the Glazers will pay 60 million. We pay 60 million for a 30-year-old central midfielder. I think the Glazers will have to pay money now that Ronaldo's leaving. I think they will, because they're fully backing the manager. So they have to, well, you would think they have to. We are in the unknown, like I said. Adam Powell, how can I grow a beard like you? Completely off subject, obsessed, right? But yeah, it depends if you've got the right colour hair, I suppose. Fair-haired people don't do well with beards. That's all I will say on that one. But yeah, completely random, but cheers for the super chat. Actually, I better just bring you up on screen just to be fair there. There you go. I wasn't just picking that question out. Someone did actually super chat and ask me how I grow a beard like mine. Interesting. Moving on to some more. We overpaid for Antonet and Martinez from the Dutch league. No way we are getting Osimhen for 60 million. Just Kevin. Yeah. I mean, I'm with you on that one. 60 million. I said it at the start. 60 million sounds very, very cheap. Very cheap for that type of player. But, I mean, could you throw a player in from Manchester United for that? Have we got anyone we can throw in there? Donny, Axel, someone like this? Is there a player that we could actually push across to Italy? I mean, Chris Smalling's gone over there and done well. Is it a league for Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Can we soften the blow? Have we got a player we can offload as well to make this happen? That's exactly where I'm thinking this is going to go. If you're going to get this caliber of player. Are United going to go into battle with other clubs as well? That's the question I want to know. Have we got it in us to go on and say, that's our player, we want that player, there's the money, forget about everyone else? I don't think we've got it in us. I don't think we've got it in. I mean, the January market has completely opened up. It's changed simply because of the World Cup. Anyone could pop up out of this World Cup and clubs get excited about a possible new Ronaldo, new Messi, anyone. There's so many players out there, and we will be covering it on That's Football as well in terms of possible sort of stars to come out of the World Cup. And I think every club has just got heightened scout alert on for the World Cup right now. And it just opens up the January transfer window into something that it's never really been before. It's always been that, oh, yes, January, let's just get it over with the transfer window. No one decent comes in January. United's scope has changed with what's happened with Ronaldo, and the January transfer window has definitely taken on a different perspective right now. Oh no, anti-Ronaldo Adam. Oh, sorry to upset you all. Yeah, his opinions. You can drop your comments in, have an opinion on me, just as I'm saying it. I don't want you to always agree with me, but that's what we're here for. We've got to give our opinions. I wasn't anti-Ronaldo either. Adam is always against Ronaldo. Boo-hoo. Go home. Cry into your pillow. Facts are facts. We're getting into that soon enough anyway. It seems like you can't wait in the comment section to get into that bit, but that's what it is. Let's just see what else we got. Tony, why not at least till the end of the season? Tony, till the end of the season. I think you're clutching there at that one because I don't think Brentford are going to let Tony go. There's no chance. Adam, are you a model? What's going on with that? No, I'm not. Been a while, Adam. Yes, it has. More super chats coming in now. Pedro from Flamengo. Check him out, guys. He's perfect. This is what I mean. This is, can United look further afield? Adam is a Pratt. Yes, I am. That's Mr. Pratt to you, though. Yes, get it right. We've got to look further afield, surely. I mean, these names are there. These names are good. And people will say these are the type of caliber player United should be going for. This is the club that we are. We always should be going for the best players. When they're available, get them. Sir Alex Ferguson always said it. If a player comes out that is available and we can get him and he is going to improve our team, we go out, we get him. We did do this in the summer. We just paid over the odds and went around the whole transfer window the wrong way. We could have saved ourselves 20 million on the likes of Casemiro and Antony if we'd have just approached the window the right way and should have bought these players earlier on in the window. Charlie, another super chat. If you have the budget, go and get Sesko. I'm sure Sesko has now agreed a deal within the Red Bull group, though I'm not sure if he is going to RB Leipzig. I can't remember if that actually broke. We had that much going on at the time in the transfer window. Sesko was an option in summer, but I think it all changed. I'm sure it did, but more will come of that. I think Sesko is definitely not a January transfer target anyway. I think that one will be more summer-based if that one does come about. Depends on whether United will go for Harry Kane in the summer. Harry Kane is a player I would go for in the summer. 1 year left on his deal. If we can get the right amount of money, but if Spurs finish in the Champions League, then that deal is completely off the table as well. So it is dependent upon what happens this season. Does that then force you to go out and spend more in January to make that happen and then give you more options for, say, other positions we need in the summer? Because let's not forget, if we get Champions League football, that saves the sort of sponsorship deal with Adidas. Second year without Champions League, then obviously loses us money. Being in the Champions League, you get that revenue, plus that Adidas deal is saved. How we've been able to afford this January sort of spending, if Ronaldo's wage is gone, and what we'd save from now to the end of the season, and obviously being in the Champions League to subsidise it as well, because you do get a lot of money. And under Ten Hag, I feel like we've got the manager that can take us as far as we possibly can in that competition as well. Morning, Adam. How much would Kane cost? I rate... I'd rather have him. Yeah, Kane depends. We were talking about this privately yesterday. Would Kane cost 90 million with 1 year left at age 30? Would he force that move out? Could you get him a bit cheaper off Daniel Levy? Daniel Levy, I think, would probably just stubbornly sit there and let Kane see out his contract now at the age of 31. That's the problem. You're dealing with that type of negotiator in Daniel Levy. It changes everything. Everything sort of like goes to a different level when it comes to Daniel Levy. And he has taken us to the cleaners quite a lot, hasn't he? So I'd expect Levy to hold out for 60 plus at least, or let Kane just sit it out, then leave for free. We got enough out of him. If he gets some Champions League, he'd probably get as much money through being in Champions League next season than he would for selling Kane. You look at it that way. That's like the Borussia Dortmund model, where they say, we're going to hold out for a certain time. We'll take the buyout money instead of the big lump sum that clubs will have to pay to get, say, for Bellingham, or what it was with Haaland. Haaland getting Dortmund into the Champions League, or helping Dortmund get to the Champions League. That model from what Dortmund have would say, well, the extra 40 million we could have got for Haaland, we made because Haaland got us into the Champions League. And then we'll just take that buyout money, which was 50 odd million, and why it seemed like a good deal for Manchester City. Dortmund look at it a completely different way. They're the club that is run very, very well, in my opinion. Anything is possible after what Ronaldo said. After what Ronaldo said about the club, the Glazers, they might shit themselves like they did in the summer. Open up the checkbook. This is it. Reaction FC is what we are. I mean, after that Liverpool protest, everything just went crazy. Everything went crazy in the transfer market. They started spending willy-nilly. It was absolutely mental. Adam, poll for who wants which striker. Tom, I wish I could. I haven't got my technical guy with me and graphics guy here today to do the poll. Otherwise, I would. But we could sort of gauge it from the actual chat anyway. Morning, everyone. Morning, mate. Let's just see. I've got another super chat just to bring up here, right down the line. From Simon says, would you rather sign a forward in Jan, but United don't get a right back, or sign a right back in Jan, but United don't get a forward? Tongue twister. I feel like it's number one the other month, not the other month, especially in January. Yeah, in terms of the right back, we need a striker above a right back now. It's as simple as that. Right back was top of the agenda of what we really needed. And now it's changed. It has to be a forward now. There's no other player that we need to be prioritizing more. No other position we need to be prioritizing more. It's as simple as United now are losing Cristiano Ronaldo. We need to bring in another forward because we cannot rely on Martial and Rashford. Martial, who may get called up to the French squad now. We don't know. We may get news of that soon, which is a bit of a worry. With Nkunku being ruled out through injury now, France need another forward. Martial getting close to fitness again. He probably won't play a lot. I would say Nkunku was probably down the pecking order. So Martial is probably the ideal replacement for Didier Deschamps. He has used him before when he has been fit. So you look at it and you say, Martial's going to be going off to the World Cup now. Ideally, I could do with Martial not playing any football and just getting fully fit. I'd rather him be playing the friendlies that United have got set up in December against Real Betis and Cadiz. I mean, that's where I want Martial. I want to get him fully fit and properly being looked after, not thrown right into the boiling pot, which is the World Cup. Ideally, we could do with Martial resting up and coming back in December, absolutely raring to go. United will plug the hole with a loan until the summer. I would suspect a Cavani, a Gallo type of player, says Charlie. Honestly, Charlie, I really hope that does not happen. This has been a problem that Manchester United have had, the short-term fix, the short-sightedness of just bringing a body in to fill a space. That's what we don't want. That's what we don't want. Sean, another super chat. I know people are fuming with Ronaldo. I'm more annoyed at Anthony, 85 million signed, basically sat out the last two games for the World Cup. He should be getting fined as well. Well, we don't know, like everything. I think it's harsh to go in on Anthony. Ten Hag knows the player. Was Ten Hag punishing him for his antics in the Europa League that time? We don't know. We don't know. One thing we do know is Anthony has performed this season when he's been on the pitch. the majority of the games that he has played, he has done very well in, I think. Another super chat in from Seb Watson says, France already called up someone, not Martial. Well, that's good news because I've not seen that so far. I wouldn't count it out just yet. I wouldn't, but I think we just have to keep our cards close to our chest in terms of what is actually going to happen now in this last week building up to the World Cup. I think once it starts, I think we're safe. I'm not even sure if teams can actually call in players or if there's like reserves or if Martial was on the actual reserve list for France. I'm not too sure, but I think if Martial isn't going to the World Cup, it just benefits us so much, especially with the situation now with the lack of numbers up front. 100%. Should we bring back Laird as cover for Dello? I totally agree, Simon. Yes, we should. I think that is important. I'd rather someone who naturally plays there rather than Malacia. It just goes to show where Ten Hag is with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's actually called out Lindelof and Malacia as replacements for Dello over an actual right back. So again, is there money in that for us in January if Wan-Bissaka goes? Because Ten Hag's already said he's not going for loans. He doesn't want people to leave on loan. They're going and they're being sold, which pretty much leads me on to the next bit. We are going to go in to the Ronaldo situation now and how Cristiano Ronaldo is dealt with in terms of what happens next from Ten Hag and how he will handle this. First of all, I want to just talk about how Manchester United still have not received a copy of this interview. How can a club that is paying a player over 500 grand a week not get access to something that their player has done? Well, that has done that shouldn't have been done. In fairness, I feel like this is just another nail in the coffin for how this has been dealt with by Ronaldo and Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan is spinning this to benefit himself and big his channel up more than anything, I feel. But Cristiano knew who he was going to. Cristiano knew that Piers Morgan wasn't going to ask him any tough questions. He was going to cater the interview completely to him and his side and his narrative. And I just feel like you look at it and people are saying this is Piers Morgan. This is all it is. This is all him doing this. Well, no. It's like what Paul Pogba did with his agent. He knows exactly what his agent's going to do. He pretty much backed that up in his documentary that he did. There is one. Cristiano Ronaldo knows exactly what he's doing in going to Piers Morgan. He wants the biggest scope and wants his story putting out there in the biggest way. And yes, everything that came out last night, the side of it where he's talking about his son, and it was a horror. It was. I never felt more sorry for a player or any person than what I did for Cristiano Ronaldo last season. But this has got nothing to do with that. This has got nothing to do with what happened last season. This is all to do with Cristiano Ronaldo and how he feels the club have treated him this season. The club that is paying him the astronomical amount of money, and then he wants to go in on the Glazers to bring them in. I would say this, and guys, obviously, this is just my opinion on this. There is nothing about me hating Ronaldo or always hating Ronaldo. There were times when I criticised him last season and times when I praised him last season. I was stood outside Villa Park this season saying that there's still a role for Cristiano Ronaldo this season, even though I didn't rate his performances or he should have been captain after what he did. He should not have been. But Cristiano Ronaldo has gone beyond the point of return with what he's done. You cannot do what he's done and in the way he has done it. It's as simple as that. And then for people to, I would say this, and I think people are gullible if they think that Cristiano Ronaldo bringing the Glazers conversation into this is important. I think he's done it to back himself up and cover up the real problem, which is him not being able to deal with his career coming to an abrupt end and he can't play at the highest level anymore. That's just my opinion on it. I know there's a lot of people that won't agree with that. And there's a lot of people who love Ronaldo. I expect that. I anticipated a backlash from what I said, but that is my opinion on it. I'm looking at this from a football point of view. I'm not one to look in the past. I know what he did last season. He was our best player in terms of what you would expect our players to perform to last season. And this season, he's let us down. He's let us down on the pitch. He hasn't performed. If this was Martial or Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes playing as bad as Ronaldo is in his position, in their respective positions, then we'd be going in on them. It's nothing to do with Ronaldo and the superstar that he is. And my opinion on him is the fact that he has gone to Piers Morgan behind the club's back and set this interview up. Why did he not go to the club and hand in a transfer request and then come out and say, I've handed in a transfer request? He doesn't do interviews. He doesn't come out and say anything. He could have easily come out and said, forget about everything else. Let's not bring everything else up just to back myself up. Let's just say exactly what I wanted. Let's not forget, in June, Cristiano Ronaldo was praising Ten Hag coming in and looking forward to the season. And then bang, bombshell dropped. Cristiano Ronaldo wants to leave the football club. So there is a complete, I think it was a mess in the summer. And like everyone has said, it should have been dealt with in the summer. Cristiano Ronaldo should have left the football club. Simple as that. He should have gone, and we wouldn't have even been talking about this, and the fans wouldn't have been taken down this roller coaster of emotions. I've been stuck between one of the greatest players of all time and one of the biggest clubs in the world, because that's where we are right now. Ronaldo is testing himself against one of the biggest institutes, one of the biggest football franchises, sports franchises that the world has ever seen. He thinks he is that big, and he thinks he can do this behind the club's back. It's an absolute disgrace in how he's gone about it. It really is. It's an absolute disgrace. And the fact that Manchester United still haven't received a copy of this and are having to wait with the rest of the world, the mere mortals like us, the fans, waiting for this to come out on Piers Morgan time, is an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace. And the club, I feel, are completely within their right to go down legal routes and try and terminate this contract to Cristiano Ronaldo. I've been concentrating on talking there, guys, and I've missed quite a few messages come through. I'm not ignoring anyone. I'm just going to try and scroll down now, bring up as many as possible, just to go over everything, because there's another bit I want to bring up on this, in which is how Ten Hag now moves forward with this, and how we expect him to act on it. Troy Trey, I was all for Ronaldo, but you must remember, throwing Erik Ten Hag under the bus has sealed the deal. The club is the employer and bigger than anyone. 100% agree. That is exactly what it is. And that is where all of this is. Forget about everything else and the spin with the Glazers. Manchester, we all know what the Glazers are. And people are saying to me, and people have messaged me privately after what I've said, and gone in on me saying I'm a Glazer in. I'm not. I never have been. We know what the Glazers are, and we know what they're doing to this football club. But for Ronaldo to come out just to get fans back on side, I think you're very gullible to fall down that trap. And people said to me, look, he's the first player to come out and call out the Glazers. Well, no, he's not. He's not. He's the first person to come out. We've been crying out for this. Why are you moaning about it? I'm not moaning about what he said. Everything he said about the Glazers is true. But it's what we already knew. Why are you bringing it up now? You knew what you were getting into, Cristiano. And yeah, some of the facilities haven't been great at Manchester. There's been no improvement. We know that Manchester United just turned down a deal, £200 million deal to revamp or move training grounds. We turned that down, and that's on the Glazers. It is. It's a disgrace. We should be moving forward. The rest of the teams in the Premier League, at least on par with the best, because that's what Manchester United are, the biggest club in the country. But when you look at it, what's that got to do with Cristiano Ronaldo? As much as it is Zlatan when he called him out, Eric Bailly, the way the club is run, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, everything, all the way back to David Moyes, exactly the same as what they said. Difference is Ronaldo's got another agenda. He isn't happy with he's not happy with being criticised. He cannot be criticised. I was on Sky talking about this the other day. What's wrong? And for Ronaldo to make a sly comment on Rooney's looks in this, no one's talked about that. To basically get Piers Morgan to ask him the question that he knew he was going to answer. This is, like I said, the premeditated nature of this interview is what gripes me more than anything. Is Wayne Rooney jealous that you're still playing? Well, Wayne Rooney's got his own life. He's asked a question in his profession about a footballer who is underperforming. Simple. Same with Gary Neville. They're not using Cristiano Ronaldo because he's got the most followers in the world. What's that crap all about? It's got nothing to do with that. Gary Neville and everyone else was just doing their jobs. Say what you want about Neville and disagree with what his views are. And I don't agree with everything that Gary Neville says. But in terms of the argument Neville had with Roy Keane, I back Neville on that completely. And what he said about Ronaldo, Ken, back it. He is not the player he was, and Ronaldo is struggling to deal with it. That's it. That's my view on that. And I'm not changing from that. I'm looking at it. Yeah, some of you may think it's brutal. Why? That's what I'll say. Just look at what's happened. Look at what's been said. Look at what Ronaldo has done and tell me that this is right. It's not. It's wrong in every single way. My views are my own, and I've got my opinion on it, and it's a strong one, I know. But that's just how I look at it. And I know people are going to disagree, but it is. It's a lot of United fans. I know a lot of hardcore Manchester United fans go home and away that have just disowned Cristiano Ronaldo. It is just the way it is. The club is bigger, and we will always back the manager. The fans have always backed the manager. Yeah, we may have opinions and disagree with certain things, like in Ollie's era, but when it comes to this and what Ronaldo has done, this is worse than what anyone has done by any player. This is worse than the likes of what Paul Pogba has done. You just don't go behind the manager's back like this to someone like Piers Morgan. That's just how I see it, and I think most people will look at it that way. I'm just going to get into a few more chats before I start going on about this too much again. Yo, Adam, I share the same birthday as Paul Scholes, my 40th today. Long live United Stand. Happy birthday, Luke. Have a good one, mate. Hopefully you're ready for the World Cup, and we have a good Christmas and a good World Cup as well. I'm still struggling with the World Cup and getting up for it yet. I'm sure it'll hit me soon. It will. I'm just scrolling down here because I know there's other chats coming in, guys. I've just been talking over that. Andy, cheers for that, mate. I don't know if you wanted to say anything or you missed it, but thanks for the super chat. In terms of Ten Hag now and how we go from here, obviously, Marcel van der Kraan has been talking. He was on TalkSport, I think, yesterday, talking about how Ten Hag deals with this. I mean, I think we've seen a snippet of this already. Ten Hag, in terms of no nonsense, sold, see you later, none of this loan garbage. We've seen it with Donny van der Beek. Marcel van der Kraan, and a few other people have said it now, said Erik Ten Hag will not play Cristiano Ronaldo ever again. He will not put on a United shirt ever again. I think we all know this. I think Ronaldo knows this. And I think the cowardly timing of this interview dropping just before the World Cup is proof that he knows he will not be playing for Manchester United again. Said that he would be in the matchday squad and then made himself ill. Now, that's on him. Ten Hag has dealt with it. Van der Kraan used an example of when Noah Lang kicked up a stink at Ajax. And I know this is on a completely different scope altogether in terms of Noah Lang, Cristiano Ronaldo, Manchester United, Ajax, night and day, completely the scenario. But we've seen already with Ten Hag and how he's disciplined Cristiano Ronaldo. He's not had a problem with that. He's not had a problem with how he's dealt with Harry Maguire and the better players. This is why the fans are on board with Erik Ten Hag, I think. But Ajax asked Erik Ten Hag what he should do with Noah Lang in terms, should we just loan him out? And he basically just shut it down and said, no, he's been sold. It's as simple as that. I don't want him in the club. I don't want him anywhere near. Now you can expect that. Can you imagine being Ten Hag right now and seeing this come out about Cristiano Ronaldo? The disrespect. I don't respect the manager because he doesn't respect me. Why doesn't he respect you? Because he's trying to work a system for this football club and trying to change what has faltered in the past. Yes, Cristiano, you were our best player last season, but our best player in the worst season ever. Something still wasn't right within the mix. If one player has a great season, it doesn't mean that the system is working. You need the rest of the team to be playing well. Last season, we had Ronaldo on 7s and 8s at times, and that was when he wasn't underperforming, when he was at 4s and 3s, in my opinion. With a lot of the other players, yes, with a lot of the other players, but this season we've had steady 6s, 7s and 8s out of 10s for the whole team. That is what Ten Hag is trying to build. Cristiano Ronaldo being bit part player in that, he doesn't like it. And that's the problem. Ten Hag is a different animal altogether to what I feel Cristiano Ronaldo has had in the past. And let's not forget, when he's had it in the past, he's been in his prime. Now he can't really argue with being sat out on the bench. What you've done in the past doesn't mean you sit. Doesn't mean you are guaranteed a place in the team. It doesn't. What you've done in years and how many goals you've scored, if it's not working for you right now, is a manager going to sacrifice himself just because you are who you are and what you've done in the past? You cannot think like that. As a manager, you have to put your philosophy and what works best for you in the team first, not a player. And Ronaldo can't handle that. Ten Hag is done with Cristiano Ronaldo. We know it. And I think the rest of the team know it. And this is why, and people say it's a disrespect to Cristiano Ronaldo, how the team is just getting on. I'm not bothered if Ronaldo leaves. People just cannot see that the reality is Ronaldo's time is done at the highest level. That's what people are really struggling with. And I think what Ronaldo is struggling with, Ten Hag, I think, has been fully respectful to Cristiano. I don't know what goes on behind the scene or what he said in terms of how he feels that he's being forced out. Cristiano Ronaldo has had chances this season and he's underperformed. It's as simple as that. He's in the matchday squad and he will be used. What's the problem with that? There is no problem with that. You're at Manchester United. He knew it when he was there before. He didn't always play. And he's then come back to Manchester United thinking he's going to be the saviour, but he has struggled. He struggled in his second season. A lot has gone on in his personal life. And I just feel like people are forgetting what this interview was all about, which was Ronaldo not being happy with life at Manchester United. That's what it's all about. We can't think about what happened last season when it comes to the football side of things. And for me, this is where I think Erik Ten Hag has gone with it. I mean, I cannot for the life of me figure out why he made Cristiano Ronaldo captain for the Aston Villa game. I went in on it then, and I feel it was just weird and confusing. And probably one things that he has got wrong in his time at Manchester United. I'm sure he will regret it, especially after what's come out now with Cristiano Ronaldo. So for me, I think Ten Hag has handled this whole thing perfectly, apart from that. And that's where I've got to look at it from that side. I've got to look at it from the football side of things. Cristiano Ronaldo will leave and everyone will forget about it. If Ronaldo stayed, it's a problem and everyone's talking about it because he's not happy. That is it. That's it in a nutshell. Manchester United have to move on. And I feel they will find a way to mutually terminate this contract, and that's where we will go. A few more chats in. Really disgusted with Ronaldo's comments towards Rooney. I feel like Rooney was very respectful in his comments about Ronaldo. It's like you cannot say anything about him. This is the problem. If you criticize him, then he disowns you. He doesn't want to know. Let's just see what else we got here. Super chat wise, Sean Turner puts it this way: Ronaldo last season, Rashford and Martial will never hit that height. That's a fact. And Ajax situation is different. Glazers will decide on Ronaldo, not the manager. Well, I think the manager has decided on Ronaldo, mate, on that, because even if the Glazers kept him, Ten Hag is still not going to be forced into playing him. I think he's realised that this season. That's where I think it's different right now. Ten Hag is a different animal to any manager that the Glazers have had. The club made the move to change, and things are changing behind the scenes at United. They're trying to recover the mess that they've created themselves, and they're having to back the manager this time because there is no one else. This is the last chance for the Glazer regime, post Sir Alex Ferguson, to make it work. They've put people in place. They've got rid of people that weren't working board level and certain important positions in the football club, and they're having to back Erik Ten Hag. I know for a fact that the club are fully behind Erik Ten Hag just through conversations that we've had, and it's the way it should be. We've seen that they backed him when he disciplined Ronaldo already. That wouldn't have happened, I don't think, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the old regime above him. I don't. I think Ralph Rangnick uncovered a world of problems the club could not ignore. And Ten Hag has come in, and now that sort of groundwork that Ralph Rangnick did in sort of making it clear to everyone how bad Manchester United are and how bad they run has just played into Eric Ten Hag's hands. This, I think, will work out better for the team and Eric Ten Hag. The club, I'm not going to bring into this. The club have made questions. The club have made problems, for themselves constantly. And that's down to them to try and change their ways. But I just feel like team-wise, manager-wise, I think this plays into our hands. And Ronaldo doing what he's doing, there is a silver lining behind this. I think it will bring everyone closer together. And when we come back from the World Cup, I think it will be a different outlook. And without Ronaldo, I think Ten Hag will be able to be Ten Hag. I think the team will benefit from Ten Hag and what has happened and how he's handled Cristiano Ronaldo. He's a no-nonsense manager, like Van der Kraan says there. This is why the negotiations took so long for Ten Hag in terms of what power he would get. It does look from the outside like he has got more power. And for me, I feel like this is the right way to go. Let me just check some chats out quickly. Madrid made a killing for UEFA Champions League and sold him for 100 million. That's it. That's the top club. That's a club that knows when it's time to move on. And that's how they've always been. Yeah, they've not always done it the right way, and it's not the fair way. I've got my opinions on La Liga and how them big clubs in there work, but it works for them. And they knew when it was time for Ronaldo to move on, he became a legend there. He became the player that he is today at Real Madrid. Manchester United started it, but Madrid was where he made superstar status. Let's not forget that as well. He is their legend more than he is Manchester United's, I feel. One of the problems with the interview is you can see Morgan. I think you missed out. See Morgan there is just a cheerleader for Ronaldo, just agreeing with all his answers. He should be challenging. Yeah, this is what I said at the start. This interview was set up, premeditated to suit Cristiano and his agenda and his narrative on everything. He wasn't asked one tough question. It was all fanboy Piers Morgan basically asking questions that Cristiano Ronaldo was happy to answer because he knew that it would make him look better. That's what it was. And that's the problem with it. It wasn't a proper interview. It was a case of Ronaldo coming out and just saying his side. And he's just thrown an absolute bomb into the melting pot and let Manchester United deal with it. It's like, bop, there you go. There's the grenade. I'm off. See you later and see you in 6 weeks. Deal with it. That's the type of player that Cristiano, that's the type of character that he is. That's what he thinks, that he must think that he is bigger than Manchester United for doing this. You cannot ignore that. You cannot ignore that. I can see people. Let's see. Adam, you really should wait to make such comments until you see the entire... It doesn't matter about the entire interview. He's disrespected the manager. No, it doesn't matter what else he said. He's about to slag Gary Neville off. He's about to slag the football club off. We already know. It doesn't matter what else comes out now. 2 minutes of that is all I've needed to see. I will watch the rest of it. And yeah, there will be some things that I will agree with Cristiano Ronaldo on. I do agree with him on the Glazers, but I feel like he's bringing that up just to back himself up for bringing this up now. That's how I see it. He's disrespected Eric Ten Hag. It's the end of days. He's refused to come on and put that United shirt on and play for Manchester United. Twice he's walked out the stadium. He's been disciplined for it. He's kicked up a stink on the pitch. He's not come over to the fans when he's disappointed and clapped the fans in the stadiums. It's been a lot of wrong in what Ronaldo has done before this. And now this is the icing on the cake. I mean, we still haven't fully forgiven him for what he did at Spurs. I mean, I said I did, and we wanted to move on, and I hoped that we could move on from that. I thought everything was put aside. Eric Ten Hag spoke with him, he dealt with it, and it was all good. But now he's done this. And you should look at it and go, Manchester United as a football club are having to wait for this interview to come out like the rest of the world. That says everything to me. How Manchester United haven't got any control over this for a player that's being paid the biggest wage ever then that's where the problem is. Erik Ten Hag will deal with this the best way possible, and the fans will fully back Erik Ten Hag. So let's just go through some of the comments, because I'm not too bothered about what you guys actually think. So Rohit says, Adam is just thick, saying he doesn't care about the whole interview is proof of that. Why? I told you, it's about football. It's about football. And if you listen to the whole video, when I said I was absolutely devastated for Ronaldo and what happened last season, then you probably look at that a bit differently. Ronaldo is bigger than Manchester United. There you go. If you think that's right, then yeah, you seriously don't know football. That's it. Let's see. I'm just looking through a few of the comments now. Just to be fair to everyone, I'm not ignoring them. I can take the critique that is coming my way as well. But let's just see. Yeah, no, there's nothing else there, really. Guys, that pretty much sums up everything that needs to be said right now. No more needs to be said. We can all watch the interview tonight, make our own opinions up about the rest of the stuff. But from what's been leaked, we know Cristiano's time at Manchester United is done and dusted. Erik Ten Hag will deal with it like the disciplinarian that he is. United will move on and will be better for it. Adam, you don't like Ronaldo. I love Ronaldo. I don't like what he's done. That's it. That's it. Adam is a grown-up. Too many kiddies in here. Thank you. Adam is Glazers in. Oh, you stars. I love you all. I still love you all, even though you're calling me a prat. Anyway, guys, I'm going to finish it there. Cheers for watching, everyone. And yeah, give the video a like. Big things coming on the channel. Stay tuned this week. You will, yeah, I'm just going to say no more. Anyway, put it that way. I'm going to finish on that note. Give the video a like, subscribe to the United Stand. Stay tuned for this week, like I said, and we will catch you in the next one with, like I said, big things coming. See you later, everybody. Have a good one. Have a top day.